And what we're going to do is we're going to have we're going to have 8 lives. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little variable name saying lives equals to 8. Now, once you've done that, what you'll do is then we can start looking at creating the actual word, basically. So to start off with that, I'm going to go to def get underscore word. And then what I'm going to do in here is in my get word is I am just going to return a value back out. So I'm going to put return, and then I'm going to return back out of here Liverpool. Okay, now this is the word that needs to be guessed in the Hangman game. So if you want to, you can write anything you want in there. Really, you could even as a bit of an added extra on top of this, you could actually create a 1D array and then randomize what the word is out of that 1D array if you wanted to. Okay, so this will look something like this. So let me just go down. Right, so here we go. Now, once I've done that, I am now going to start basically assigning Liverpool into something. So I'm going to put actual underscore word will equal to get word. So I am now using that variable inside of this sub program. Now, I need to create another variable called guessed word, because this is what people will be able to see, basically. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and then once I've done that, I am then going to times that then by the length of the actual word. So instead of us actually seeing the word, it will just have the little sort of dashes. So obviously it's not too easy for the people who are playing the game. Now, inside of here now, I'm going to put a while loop. I'm going to put while lives is greater than 0, because basically while we are while we've still got lives, we want to keep playing. And I'm going to do this, and the actual word is not equal to the guess word. Okay. So this is now comparing it to, as long as we haven't guessed the right word and we've still got lives, we are then going to start playing the game. Now, I'm going to put in here display underscore game, and inside of there I'm going to put lives, and I'm going to put guessed word. Now that again is just passing some details into basically like a little sub-program. Now that sub-program, which is obviously there called display the game, we're now going to create that now, basically. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave that where it is. I'm going to put def display underscore game, and inside of them I'm going to pass in the following detail: the lives, and I am also going to pass in the word. Okay, so I can obviously start using that inside of there. So I'm going to just add in a little gap, just so there's a bit of a space. But print, I'm going to concatenate. So you have the lives, comma, left. Yes. Put a little full stop at the end, make sure it looks good. I'm going to print. This is your guess so far. And then what this will do is this will actually display the word that, this will actually display the word that where it currently is. And I'm just going to put print, and I'm just going to have another little space underneath. So again, this will just display the game. Once something has changed, it will just display the game with where we are so far. Okay, so it'll just say you have got so many lives left, and that is the guess that you have got. Okay, so that is display the game. Now, going back to this, what we are now going to do is we are now going to start using this play the game, and now we're going to start creating more little subroutines, sub-programs, just to make us, just to make it a little bit easier for us. Okay, so I'm going to put letter equals to. So this is where now we need to get the user's guess, basically. Okay, so get underscore users underscore guess. Now, once we've done that, I obviously now need to create another subroutine called guess. I'm going to use this get underscore users underscore guess, and this is where now we're going to actually get whatever they have given, basically. Okay. Now this comes in the form of a while true loop, because we need it to keep looping round, keep looping round, keep looping round. This will loop only if, and like it says there, only if we have got greater than 0 lives, and we have not actually guessed the program just yet. So here we go. So I'm going to put while true, and then I'm going to put the underscore letter. Equals to input, and now I am going to ask for the following. Please enter your guess. This is where now we get the user to come up with their guess, basically. Okay, I've put dot upper there, so just thinking, just to make sure there's no syntax errors, I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that in capitals. Okay. And I'll put that as dot upper. The next one is we're going to put an if statement. Says if, and then the length. So this is where now we're going to put the length of the letter. Okay. Is not equal to 1. Okay. Is not equal to 1. In other words, it's not equal to any of the they've given us more than one letter, basically. This is what we're checking for now. So this is called a form of validation. Just got to check it to make sure it works. Single letters only, please. So in other words, we only need one letter in there, because otherwise that would be cheating. Okay. If that's good, then we're going to continue. Elif. Then I'm going to add in something that I haven't really taught before yet. Dot is alpha. In other words, it's part of the alphabet. And then we're going to break there. Once we've checked that, and it's been checked 100%, then we're just going to return the letter. So that means we're going to return it back out into the global game, just so we can use it. So all this is doing for us now is whatever we have inputted, that if statement and the elif statement is basically part of a validation, just to check to make sure it's only one letter, and to make sure it is a letter and not a number or a comma or an exclamation mark. Okay. Now that's done. I'm now going to go back to there. So I have now in there letter equals to, I have now got the actual letter now. Okay. And that's obviously where we need to be. Okay. Now. Okay. Oh. I've by accidentally done that, so letter equals to get. There you go. So our next one is now we need to now check to see where the position of the letter is, basically. Okay, and if it is in there, then we need to check to see if it is correct or not, basically. Okay. So all we're now going to do in here is this. We're now going to put in position. positions equals to check underscore if underscore letter in Word. Now, this way it's a little bit easier for us, and the things that we need to check, need to pass in there, is letter and actual underscore word. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to create that. So I'm going to put check underscore if underscore letter in Word. And then we're going to open and close the brackets, and then we're going to do that. Now I'm just trying to think, do I need to pass anything into there? Yes, I do. I need to pass in obviously the letter and the word. Okay, because obviously I need to check inside of there, and I need to pass in that data. So now we're going to add in a little blank array, which is our position. Now I'm going to add in, what do we need to add in here now? I might need to, I've got to add in a for loop. So I've got to add in a for loop that will obviously loop around the characters to check to see if it is in there or not. Okay, so here we go. So for I might just use index, that's a little bit easier for us. Character in, okay, the underscore word, and then if, and then I'm going to put in if character equals to the underscore letter. My bad. The underscore letter. Then I need to append it into a list. I think that is right. And it needs to go from that. I think yes. And then I need to return the position back out. Okay. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm just checking to make sure the letter is in the word, and then once it's done, I am just appending that word then into a list. Okay. Now, and now the next one is we're now going to update the guest word. So now I've checked to see if it's in there. If it is in there, then I need to do something about it then. Okay. So this is where now I'll go back to here. And I'm going to do the following. I'm going to put if positions is what do I need to put here? Is just if positions. In other words, if we have got positions, then I'm going to have to use a guest word equals to update underscore the underscore guest underscore word. Positions, letter, and then guest word. Okay. Now, all this is doing for me now is I'm saying if positions is there, then we need to then have guest word, and we need to update the guest word. So in other words, this will actually work in terms of the in terms of us seeing the word on the screen. Okay. So again, I need to create another one. Now the reason why I'm using subprograms for this is because it's a little bit easier once I'm just creating to play the game. Sometimes if it's a big bulk of code, if I can just put it into a little subroutine, subprogram, I can just check to make sure they work basically. Okay. So now I'm going to put in, I need to create another one called update. Update underscore the underscore guest word. Now I know I am using quite big subroutine names. It just makes it a little bit easier when I talk through it, basically. Okay, some people might think about to shrink these down. That is fine, no problems at all. All you've got to do is you just have to make sure that you know what the subroutine is called, basically. So I'm going to use pos out of my other one. I'm going to use underscore the letter, and I'm going to use word. Okay. Now, all of them have come from other subroutines that I've used, basically. Okay, so this is where now I need to update the position. So it's a for loop. So I'm going to put for position in pos. So in other words, wherever it is, okay, what I'm now going to do is this. I am just going to now put in word equals to word. Now inside of my array, basically, I'm going to have position. Notice the first one, and I'm going to plus the underscore letter, and I'm going to put plus the word, and then I need to close off my my 2D array, sorry, my 1D array. Oh wait, that's got to go in there. Apologies. Yes, I think that should work, and I'm going to return word. Okay. Now again, I'm just trying to do this off the cuff. It might work, it might not work. Luckily, hopefully, if it works first time, then happy days. Now I think I should have everything that I need to finish off this program. So I've got update guess word, check to make sure the letter is in the word, and I am getting the user's guess, and then I'm displaying the game. Got my word. That can just be left till the end. Okay. Yes, I think this should work. Okay. So if we've got that, great. Else lives equals to lives take away 1. That basically tells us that if we haven't got it, then we lose 1 life. Here, I'm now going to add in another if statement. This is going to be outside of the loop though, because we need to check to make sure if it is equal to 0. And then I'm going to print unlucky the actual word was, and then I'm going to put actual word, but a concatenation, else print well done, you have won. Woohoo! Now, I think that might have worked. Line 24. Okay, so let's hope A. So I've got 1 guess left. So if I put in now something like A, it'll take away a guess. If I put in L, she'll put an L and an L at the end. Okay, I think it's working. Let's see if I can get it right. Boom. Let's try it again, and let's see if I can just maybe unlucky, the actual word was Liverpool. Hurrah, it's working. Okay. Now again, this is a basic. game, for you to take this game even further, it'd be good for you to have an array, basically an array inside of here that will have maybe 10 words in, and then 10 words you can then maybe automatically generate. That, I think that would be really good. Another one is to not have duplicate, to not accept duplicate words. So if you notice there, I've put in R. We know it's there, but I've already done it once, so it should technically take a life off us. So that's a little challenge, a couple of little challenges there for you to see how you can take this onto the next stage, basically. If people are struggling, then by all means email me. My email is all over school website. But I think hopefully you've seen how my head has worked in terms of getting through this, basically. And all this play the game does is just look at load. This is the main code. I didn't need to add in all of these sub-programs, but sometimes it's nicer just to separate them all up, just so we can actually start using them, basically. Okay, and I can refer back to them. I can pass data in. I can return data back out again. Okay, so again, thank you very much for listening. Have a go in your own time. If you've got any questions, by all means, let me know. But thank you very much.